Afua, thank you so much for staying with us to give us these updates. Now, what's the atmosphere like there in the front of St. Peter's Basilica?
Yes, we are here in St. Peter's Square. Well, lots of people are still gathering. Lots of people are still walking up to the Basilica behind me to see the historic place where the Pope was lying in state. Lots of different groups of people, lots of youth groups around, lots of children, lots of families. Lots of people using this as an occasion to come out and be part of history. It really is being part of history, having a front row to history, to be part of Pope Francis's funeral today. Now, he has been buried at St. Mary Major. That's the basilica that he chose, that he should be buried at. And he chose that because of his devotion to the Mother Mary. It was a church that he often went to pray before every journey and after every pilgrimage that he made. He would go back to St. Mary Major to pray. So that's why he has been buried there. His coffin was taken through the streets of Rome in the Pope Mobile, and hundreds of thousands of people turned out and lined the streets to be able to see that historic moment as well. But here in St. Peter's Square, you still have lots of groups, lots of church groups, singing together, gathering together. Earlier on, we saw people crying, people taking communion in the streets as well. It's a somber but also a very celebratory atmosphere because, of course, the funeral today was a celebration of Pope Francis' life.
Now, there's been some side diplomacy going on around the Pope's funeral. What more can you tell us about the ceremony?
Yeah, so the ceremony that took place today at St. Peter's Basilica, 400,000 people turned out. Italian officials have said that was with tight security, 8,000 security officials on the ground, 1,900 of those thought to be in plain clothes. We also had 2,000 particular security officials from the Vatican themselves. You had sharpshooters in the sky. There's snipers all around me. I can't see them, but I know that they're there. And they also had the ability to take out drones flying overhead also. And the service that happened today, you know, a slightly political leaning to that service. You know, the cardinal that took the service talking about Pope Francis's commitment to inclusivity, how his first trip that he took as Pope was to an island in Italy that was housing migrants. And that got a ripple of applause, you know, from the audience that were watching, from people all around St. Peter's Square. And, you know, it was about his commitment to the things he believed in, the environment, to inclusivity, to treating immigrants correctly, the LGBTQ plus community. You know, it really was a service that he would have appreciated because it talked about all the things that he was really passionate about. He was out bringing Catholicism to as many people as possible. That's why he decided to bring in cardinals from all around the world, not just the usual places. He was committed to growing the amount of Catholics around the world, and therefore it's led to Asia and Africa being the continents that have the fastest number growing of Catholics, and we have about 1.3 billion Catholics around the world today.
And does that mean that with these messages coming after his demise, it will be a rallying point for the world powers, the Catholic Church, and of course the people to unite more and preserve his legacy?
It could be, it absolutely could be. Could this be the moment where we see millions and billions of Catholics coming together to promote the messages that Pope Francis was all about? Inclusivity, making sure that everybody can come to Jesus and come to the Catholic Church, looking after this planet that we've been given. We'd like to think that his legacy would be more people attributing to these ideas and believing in the things that he believed in. Could that mean that we could have a Pope from Africa or a Pope from Asia? Perhaps we will. Remember, he was Pope the first. He was the first Pope from the Global South, the first Pope from Argentina, the first Pope that was not brought up in Italy. So yes, we could see his legacy, we could see his legacy rippling through until the next Pope we have.
All right, thank you so much, Afua Hagan, for sharing these updates with us.